Hey everybody. So it's been a while, and I thought that this would be a worthy comeback is unboxing Temu garbage. Here's what happened. Right after the holidays, I saw this deal pop up for like a $9 Super Mario Brother Game and Watch system. And I assumed it was bullshit, of course. And because I was like 95% sure it was a bootleg of some kind, or like just I wouldn't get it, I bought it because I had to find out. So I got all excited. I'm going to make a video that's going to be uncovering this bootleg thing. And it turns out, like, I'm making the video, and it turned out it was a legitimate Super Mario Brothers Game & Watch. Like, I opened it, I went through the rigmarole of like checking it against other things, and it's real, it's legit. So I ended up not posting that video because it wasn't very interesting at that point. But that came like a couple days later than they said it was going to, and apparently Temu or Temu? Temu? I want to say Temu, but I feel like it's Temu. Anyway, they gave me $5, like a credit or coupon for the thing coming late. So I go to use the $5, and I realize pretty quickly that like I'm either going to have to spend some money in shipping, or if I want to get free shipping, they kind of force you to buy like $20 worth of stuff, which is kind of like what Amazon used to do, if I remember. So I had recently, very recent, like within the last month, I bought a bunch of soldering equipment on Amazon, and I've been doing like little fixes and sort of just trying to learn a little bit about circuit boards and electronics and soldering. I recapped my Nintendo. I fixed a couple of Halloween decorations, like that, not the witch, but that candle right next to the witch wasn't working, and that was an easy fix for the most part. I did that, a couple other things, and so when I was looking on Temu, I saw a bunch of soldering stuff. I was like, I'll spend roughly like the $20 minus the coupons on soldering stuff. So that's what I have here. It is a big old bag of Temu garbage. I keep saying garbage because I assume that the quality is not going to be outstanding. But I don't really remember what I bought either because it's been a couple of weeks. So let's find out. Yeah. It's just some LEDs of various colors and sizes. I don't remember how many are supposed to be in there. Nor does it really seem to say how many are in here. But I think it was like, oh, there it is, 150 pieces. So probably more LEDs than I'll ever need for anything. But while I was doing some of my fixes for the Halloween stuff, they tend to be like LED light things. And the lights were like old and sketchy. I was like, it'd be nice to have like on hand various colors just in case I need them. So LEDs. I'm just whatever is at the front. This I think is going to be helpful. It is one of these like alcohol bottle things. So I use alcohol a lot, isopropyl alcohol, for cleaning, video game contacts, cleaning off the circuit boards when you're soldering and whatnot. And I've been just like, I have like a little squirt bottle that I keep opening the top and dipping the Q-tips into. This is kind of like, so you flip the top and then you do that, and it sucks. There's a tube in there. It sucks the alcohol up and kind of fills this little reservoir there. It seems okay. Looks a little janky if I'm being honest, but I think it was like $1 or $2 or whatever. I don't know. There's the inside workings of it. Probably should have brought some alcohol in here to test this out with, but we will assume that it functions. I'll test it, of course, myself, but I'm going to assume that it seems like it probably functions fine. The little push button thing works. The little beep, beep, beep. So that should be very useful for me because I'll just now ding, ding, and kind of dip my Q-tip in there. Good to go. Kind of gets things a little easier. Let's see. What's next? A little envelope here. What's that? Oh, flux. I got some flux. Let me I have flux, but when I bought it, it was a couple years ago, and I didn't know much about soldering at the time, and I bought like little tubs of solder paste that is really annoying to like scoop out and put on the board. I use like toothpicks, sometimes like little popsicle sticks, and it kind of is hard to like get super precise. This is a like a dispenser. So you have your little, it's almost like a syringe, right? And then you have the plunger part of it that I guess goes in this side. So you put the plunger in there, and then we got a tip as well that gets put on the other side. So once you open, you have to take the black cap off and the red cap out, and you kind of assemble the little syringy thing. And that way, I might have a little bit more precision when I'm getting flux. I only bought one because, frankly, I don't do that much soldering. It's not like I'm doing this every day. And I kind of wanted to see how it worked. If it doesn't dispense well, or if the flux itself isn't like a good one, I didn't want to waste like a bunch of money on a ton of them. So one of those. Next, this is like Christmas. All right, here's another little thing. What is it? Oh, right. Soldering tip. That is really fine. That was much finer than I was expecting. Which is good. That's kind of what I wanted. Something like for micro soldering. For what do they call them? The surface mount components. SM something. So it has like a little tilt, a little curve to it. And it's very fine tipped. Let's see if I can manage to get this. All right, there you go. See, there's like a little curve to that tip. And it's really like, I mean, compared to my other soldering tips, this one is significantly finer, which would only be good for like very small components, because obviously the heat transfer is not going to be as good with this, I don't think. But I hope that it fits my soldering iron. It looks like the right size. I sort of took a gamble on that. I kind of like, it seemed like it would be fine. But we'll give it a shot. So that wasn't too much either. That was like, I think everything I got, like it added up to about $20 minus coupons and deals and whatnot. But each thing was like $1, $3, $2, which means there's much more to get. So let's see what else we got in here. There's a box, a big box. What's in the box? I don't remember. It's a little envelope of some kind. What do we got? To hold wires. Which reminds me of what else is in there, of a couple other things that I got. So this is just like a little, another kind of janky thing, but it's just like a little clampy. It's advertised as like you put two wires facing each other here so that you could solder easily. Like it'll hold the two wires so that you could solder in this area. I felt like it might have some other uses. Like it might end up just being a really convenient thing to hold something otherwise. So, and it was like $1 or something. So that looks pretty good. I mean, it seems like it's going to be fine. Nothing is striking me as like, oh, this is going to break any second sort of feeling to it. Pretty good. Okay. See what else we got. Now I kind of, like I said, I kind of remember. I think I know what this is. I think there's only 2 more things in there. This, yeah. So this kind of goes with the wire soldering thing. I didn't think I was going to have like a huge use for these often, but I kind of felt like they would come in handy now and again. What are they? They are heat shrinkable sleeves. So black, yellow, red, and green. There's 164 pieces in there of varying sizes. And these are basically the things that you put around the wire. Like once you've soldered two wires together and you don't want that solder touching anything and shorting anything out, you would slip one of these guys around it, or one of these guys, or one of the many other sizes that they provide here. Got some real huge ones there. And essentially you apply heat to it. You could use like a flame or a heat gun if you have it, and it shrinks. And it just shrinks onto the wire. So felt like it would be, again, something that would come in handy. So, and a very cheap kind of thing just to grab. And that brings us to, I believe, the last item, which I do remember now that I got into it. And that is a pair of helping hands. A magnifier with 3 handles. These are pretty basic. I didn't go for anything fancy. I find when I'm working that I just don't... You need a pair of helping hands. I just can't do it by myself. So we have the base. There's the magnifying glass, which everything's all floppy right now. I'm trying to figure out how this kind of goes, but there we go. All right, so there we have our helping hands, which are just alligator clips connected to wing nuts, butterfly nuts. And you would just kind of decide on where you want the thing, and hopefully a matter of tightening it, and it will hold its position for the most part. That seemed to do the trick. There you go. That might come in handy for things other than soldering for me as well, since I do a lot of like small detail work. But there are a lot of joints on this one that you could kind of like choose where you want to tighten it up. I could tighten this up if I want. Hopefully it works out okay. This seems like one of those things that like maybe won't stand the test of time, but seems all right. I suppose it has a lot to do with like how heavy the thing is that you're trying to hold. Okay, I'm done. That is everything. I'm going to go get some work done now. I'm in the middle of working on a brand new sculpture. It is sculpted, it is molded, and now I'm going to start casting the pieces so that I might put it together and paint it and get it ready for AuthorCon, which is coming up in a mere less than a month, or just about a month. If you join my Patreon at the $1 tier or higher, I've been posting tons of videos over there showing the whole process of my sculpting and casting, or molding and casting and everything. So if you're interested at all in seeing that stuff or just keeping up with what I've been doing, that's probably the best place these days. I post more videos there than I do here on YouTube. All right. Breathe deep of the night. I will see you all very soon. Luna wants to get the hell out of here. All right. Goodbye.